Hi, I'm Camilla.
And I'm Kang, and we are
the FI Resellers. And today we have a What's Old video for you. So we are part-time resellers, meaning that we buy things from thrift stores for super cheap and sell them online for a profit on sites like eBay and Poshmark and Facebook Marketplace. So if that's something that you're interested in, come follow along with us, and we are going to show you some of our best sales from the past week.
Yeah, it's something that we're doing as we enter this new chapter of our lives, parenthood. And it's a great way to make money, flexibility, staying home, just taking care of our baby, all of that. And, you know, I work full-time, but still we do this reselling thing part-time, and it's just a whole lot of fun, and it's a great way to make profit.
Okay, so here we have a pair of Alice and Olivia pants, and they're just a plain kind of black dress pants, and they're definitely low rise. You can see the super low rise here, but I picked them up anyway because this is a really good brand, and I believe it didn't even have a size tag. I just measured it and, you know, put the measurements in the listing. It sold for $39.65, which was full price, so really happy with that sale. I did price it lower than I would other Alice and Olivia items like dresses and fancier items, because they're just plain dress pants and they're a low rise, which is not like super in right now, and they don't have the size tag. So all of those things kind of lowered the value, but even still, it was a pretty good sale and one that helps our week definitely. So we will get this shipped out. We ship out most of our pants in a padded flat rate, so that's what this is going to go in. It just makes it easier if we kind of have a rule for all of our pants. You know, we know that most pants are over a pound, so the padded flat rate is an easy way to get pants out to our buyers.
We've got a new pair of jeans by Can. These were pretty nice. They are distressed a little bit throughout, and they're flared, which is kind of in, kind of out. It's like, I don't know. People are still buying them apparently, but we sold this for $30 plus shipping. Generally, we would hold out for a little more than that, but we are trying to spur some sales. And, you know, Can is a pretty decent brand overall. Probably is worth 35 or 40, especially since it's new with tag, but we're trying to get our stores going a little bit, and we took $30 plus shipping. So overall, not great, but not terrible. So we're going to ship these out in a padded flat rate.
These are Veronica Beard jeans. This is our first time finding this brand, Veronica Beard, and this was a really good sale. These were such cool jeans. They were high rise flare, which is like super in right now. And so I priced them at $75, but I got a $50 offer. Actually, originally a $40 offer. I came back at $55, and then we agreed on $50. I was really happy with that because this is going to New Zealand, so the buyer had to pay a lot in shipping, and so I figured that I could give her a good deal. I've had these listed for a little while, so I thought, you know, I'll lower the price a little bit, and I had heard from other YouTubers that Veronica Beard tends to sit around for a while, and since this is such a trendy style, like, I'm not sure that high-rise flare jeans are going to be in for much longer. That is definitely a unique sort of style, so I figure I want to sell them while they're still trendy instead of waiting, you know, until later and then they're not on trend anymore. That seems to be kind of a trend with some of our sales in this video, if you haven't noticed, but that's just the way I like to run my business. I like to sell things when people offer to buy them. I figure that's the perfect time. A bird in the hand is better than two in the nest. So really great sale on these jeans. Oh, and they were a good size. These were a size 32, so they weren't like teeny tiny. They were, you know, a bigger size, which there are definitely more people who are a size 32 than there are who are a size like 24 or something like that, which seems to be often what you find in the thrift store is really small sizes. So I was happy to find this in a good size.
All right, so something that we don't usually do is sell vases and ship vases, but that's what we've done here. We've got this ginger jar is what it's called, and it is basically grand millennial core. It's kind of this aesthetic that is both grandma core but millennial, so that's what I've been told it is. Hopefully I'm doing that justice, because I'm not exactly sure, because I've been told that this is kind of in right now, this style, and so it's very oriental in nature. It's very reminiscent of Chinese and other Asian aesthetic. So that's probably part of it, probably part of the appeal. And I've been told by Camilla that this is something that you might find in a Nancy Meyers movie. So there you go. We're gonna ship it out here, and it's gonna be pretty interesting because I don't think we've ever done this before, but I think we've got the right tools for this. Okay, let's see. I've prepared most of this ahead of time. What I've decided to use is basically a huge lot of like bedding. So we had gotten this, I guess, foam mattress from a garage sale for $1. So I just use a lot of it for fragile items like this, especially something this heavy. I feel like this is like one of the best things that I could use this for. So I've already prepared a lot of it here. So basically what we've got here is foam pretty much surrounding this entire thing. So I am pretty confident with this last piece. I'm gonna cut down the box just a little bit and make sure that when the box actually closes, it'll be pretty compact. And so we've got foam at the bottom, all around, and at the top. So I'm pretty confident in this. Let me know down in the comments if you think it made it. So those 4 sales were pretty good. We're having a pretty decent week, and that ginger jar ended up being about 9 pounds. So it's $13 from UPS. Pretty good rate via pirate ship. So that was pretty fun putting it together. I really hope that it gets to the buyer just safely. We should know in a few days, and we can update you on Instagram or whatever, but follow us there on Instagram at FI Resellers, and yeah, let's go through our numbers.
So we sold a total of 32 items for a gross revenue of $742.50. Our cost of goods for those 32 items was $66.83. So on Poshmark, we sold 12 items for $124.83. eBay, we sold 17 items for profit of $264.51. Facebook, we sold just 3 items for $40.56. So overall, we made a net profit of $429.90. So not great, not a great week. We have definitely been slowing things down. I mean, we took a big break when our baby was born, and then we've been kind of slowly ramping things back up. And so we only list about 5 items a day, and they're in what we call our backlog. So this was items that I had taken pictures of and had drafted the listings, and I'm just making them go live each day. So these aren't like the best of the best. These are not like the things that, you know, were super desirable. They were things that I thought, okay, well, I can take pictures of these and then list them later. So I think that also adds into it. And then it's also, we have really high inflation right now. So people are, you know, trying to save money and all of that. And so I think that adds into it. You know, we only had 4 sales that were, you know, high dollar sales this week compared to other weeks where we have quite a few more. And we had quite a few low dollar sales. We had, you know, things that are just basics that people are buying. So I think that's kind of where our focus is going to be in these next couple of months, is focusing on what do people need? How can we, you know, make sure that we're focusing on what people need so that we can make more sales and, you know, be able to get those items to people.
I think as we look at inflation and what people need and some of the small luxuries of life that people are willing to spend even in crunch times, that's kind of like the 2 areas that you might want to focus on, because yes, people are going to need clothing and we can sell clothing all day, but is the amount of items that we're going to sell lower? Yes, probably. So that's kind of what we're anticipating. And then at the same time, think about in your own life, if you are willing to spend up for a small luxury of some sort, what are those things that you're willing to buy? Some of the things that you love that you can't let go of. Right? And so those are kind of the things that are in our minds, where what are we going to look for in the next few months, maybe even year or 2, that people are really going to focus on, or people are really going to want. When times are really tough, people are going to slash items that they don't need, but they're still going to want certain luxuries in life that they just can't let go. So just think about that. I think we're trying to figure that out too. That's kind of what we're seeing in our numbers. That's kind of what we're hearing in the news and kind of the trends that are going on in the reselling community. So hopefully that is also the same for you, or maybe we're just completely off base. So let us know down in the comments how you're shifting your perspective and your reselling business to kind of go with the times and see how you're adjusting to it.
Exactly. So speaking of small luxuries, we recently started sending in some items to the Real, so we wanted to give you a little bit of an update on how that's going. It's going okay. So we don't find that many luxury items, and sometimes when we do, we list them ourselves. But we decided to start sending in some items because we had some things that were just sitting and not getting any traction on eBay, and some things that we thought, we don't know how to authenticate this. We don't know if it's real. We don't really want to deal with, luxury buyers, because they have really high expectations, and we just don't know enough about luxury items to do that. So we had 8 items accepted by the Real, and so far we have sold 3 of those items, and we have made a commission of $67.20. So pretty good, but not as much as we would make if we were selling them on our own. But again, we didn't have to take pictures, we didn't have to deal with buyers. We, didn't have to wait so long. So the best sale that we had was this pair of Giuseppe Zanotti sandals. They were really cool, but really hard to take pictures of. I could not, we'll put in a picture of the Real's picture here, but I couldn't get the strap on the ankle to stay up, and so I just couldn't figure out how to take pictures of them to make them look appealing.
Right.
And so I thought, okay, I'll just send them in. And so we made $43.20 off of those. That was our commission. They sold for $108, which is pretty good. They were listed, I think, higher than that at like 200 something, but a person used a coupon. And so when that happens, or when they're on sale, it comes out of your commission. So you actually get just the commission of how much the person actually paid, which is kind of rough. It's kind of annoying that people can use all these coupons and then you're the one that, loses out instead of the Real who is giving all these coupons. I didn't give them those coupons. I didn't tell them they could use a coupon on my item, but whatever.
That's the game. That's the sandbox you're playing in. It's not our sandbox, it's theirs. And so we got to play by their rules, unfortunately.
Exactly. So we have a few other items still for sale, and interestingly enough, like we were talking about with inflation, the items that we still have for sale at the Real are the ones that they price a lot higher. So we have a Carolina Herrera dress, a Christian Dior belt, and a Claudia Lee blouse, and all 3 of those are priced pretty high. It's interesting that we had some of these lower dollar sales on the Real. It just shows that people are, looking for those small luxuries like King was talking about, but trying to get them for super cheap, which on the Real, sometimes things are super cheap.
Right. The Giuseppe Zanotti sandals, they got those at a really deep discount. And so that's a reason to still spend money on a luxury, but get a good deal on it. And so that's kind of the thing that we're talking about, right? People are willing to spend on it, but how can they make the most out of their money? And so they're stretching their dollar a little further, and they're really spending up on the things that they really, really want. It makes sense to us that, some people are just not willing to cut out some of these expenses. So just think about it like that.
Yeah.
Okay, now it's time for our segment on building wealth. This is where we update you on the total stock market index experiment. It's down still. And this week we put $41 from our Facebook Marketplace profits into this account, as we have been doing each week, putting a little bit from our reselling profits into this so that you can see how investments are doing. As always, we want to show you the real numbers, and we are still down over $1,300, but we're just going to continue to dollar cost average into this. And as a lot of people say, it's on sale right now. So this is one of the better times to buy, even though things are continually going down. You can see that we're in the negative. It's fine. We're going to just continue putting money into it. And we're going to go back to this idea, this thesis, that it's the total index that encompasses over 3,000 companies. Just know that we understand that it's cap weighted. And the idea is that it takes all of these companies within the US and it puts it into one place where you can invest in it. And if the economy as a whole is doing poorly, then yes, this index is going to do poorly. The idea is that overall, in a long span of time, our confidence in the US economy is really high. And so in the long span of time, it's going to continue to do well. Because if it's not, then you can kind of see how we have much bigger things to worry about, right? So the thesis is, if the economy is doing well, and it will continue to do well in the future, and there's nothing to worry about. But if the economy for some reason goes down to zero and all these companies fail, then we've got bigger things to worry about, right? There's no worrying about how the stock market is doing. There's no worrying about the money that we hold, because that's kind of a moot point. If 3,000 companies within the US, the biggest 3,000, are crashing and goes to zero somehow, then we've got a lot more to worry about. We've seen that in the past, that there have been dips and that it has continued to go up and met higher highs, the highest highs in the past few years. And so that's probably going to happen again. So think about it like that. That's the basis of our confidence. And so hopefully that makes sense to you, to where this is why we've chosen this in particular, not individual stocks, not cryptocurrencies. This is something that we have some level of confidence, because it's just much broader than just choosing one individual thing or a few multiple ones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's not about necessarily, individual companies failing or things like that. Like, you can think about companies that have failed in the past and you think, oh, well, I don't want that to happen with this stock, with this index. But really what you're investing in is you're investing in the American people who create the economy. You're investing in the workers who produce those things, who produce the products, the services, the goods that are making that money, that are going into those profits that go back to the shareholders, aka people like us and people like you if you buy that index. And so really what you're thinking about is that over time, that amount of profit, that production, all of that is going to increase. No matter if, at times, like right now, it's in a downturn where the profit or, these indexes are in a recession, meaning that they are losing value, that over time they're going to regain that value and even more. It's connected back to production, it's connected back to our economy, and to say like, okay, the US economy is going to continue to grow, that's something that we can look at and say, okay, do I think that workers in America, that our country is going to continue to improve?
Yeah, so building wealth takes time. It is a very patient type of thing. We've talked about building wealth in multiple ways before, but today we're really just focusing on the stock market, because it's good to remind ourselves why it is we've chosen this particular index and why maybe it's something that you should consider. Obviously, this is not investing advice, but this is how we think about building wealth over a long period of time, right? This is really our main focus on making our money make money for us, and then just being patient so that it can do its job over 20 or 30, 40, 50 years. So there you go. That's building wealth this week. That's just what we want to talk about very, very shortly. Or maybe that took a long time. I don't know. It feels like maybe we've been rambling, but that's what it is this week. We'll talk about a lot of other things in the future, so stay tuned.
So if you aren't subscribed, consider subscribing. If you like this video, we have tons more like this, and we would love if you would be part of our YouTube community. Leave a comment down below how your sales are going, if you are feeling the constraints of inflation on your business and how you are reacting and, moving your business in a new direction if that's what you're doing. And we would just love to talk with you down in the comments. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. That tells YouTube that it should show it to more people so that more people can be a part of our community here. Yeah. We would just love that.
Yep, keep that passion burning, y'all. We're so appreciative of you each week. Even though we haven't been putting out hauls or anything, you come back to watch our What Sold videos, and we really appreciate it. We really hope that your business is going well and that we're really rooting for you. We'll see you later.
Bye.